Morning everybody, welcome to another One Take. This is an interesting car because I haven't driven one of these in about 10 years. This is Matt, and Matt has brought me a Mercedes SL55. Thank you for coming down, man.
Yeah, it's great seeing you.
Tell me about your car.
All right, so it's a 2006 SL55, and I mean, out of the box, it got plenty of bang.
493 horsepower,
500
supercharged V8.
5.5 liter V8, and and so what we did is we put a chip in it, and then we gave it smaller pulleys and a little bit of a belt upgrade, and then a fat intercooler, huge intercooler, and then just some light exhaust work, just a resonator delete and an X pipe. And
so
that
what do you think it's making right now?
So it's probably making a little over 600 horsepower at the crank.
Wow. All right.
You can open them up real easy.
Cool. Well, let's see what this thing is about. Okay? So manual is on. I got it. Here we go. It's either on the lever or the wheel.
Yep.
Oh, it sounds the business. We'll start with wheel because, oh, interesting. Oh, it comes on cam at like $3 grand.
Yep.
Okay, all right, here we go. So this is the adjustable air suspension, right?
Yep.
Active body control?
Yep.
What mode are we in right now?
So right now we're in comfort, but now we're in sport. So
okay, yeah, we'll stick with sport. Well, there is probably a full 1 second delay in between tugging the paddle and when it shifts.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier that if you use the lever, it seems to shift faster.
It really does, and I really have no idea why, but...
All right, let's see. So go up.
Down a little bit, not a huge
you know what? I think it's in your head. I don't think it does it faster. I think the time it takes you to take your hand off the wheel and put it back confuses you into thinking it's faster. I don't think it actually is. Man, so this is that 5-speed gearbox, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a very strong gearbox.
It can take
so much power.
Exactly.
But the downside is it shifts kind of slow.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the SL55, you know, as a daily highway car, even a drag car, is a great value right now.
It is.
Oh, this mid-range punch is really good.
It's just right there.
This fly is right in front of my face. It sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done much to the exhaust, but it just, especially when you're, you know, above $3 grand on the RPM,
just enough to make it throaty.
It makes it throaty. Yeah.
These things are kind of heavy. They're not exactly all-stars on the racetrack.
4,200 pounds.
Yeah,
it's a girl.
Is it 4,200 pounds? Wow, that is a heavy car.
It's a very heavy car.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, but the power is really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That shifter delay though, man, is it bad?
It is.
So these cars, I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, you know, when people really realized how fast AMG cars depreciate. Yep. This car was $150,000 new. Yep. Do you mind if I ask what you got it for?
So we got this one. We had 19,000 miles when we got this. Okay. And we got it for about 45.
That's very low miles.
Very low miles.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But if you want to get one with 50,000 miles on it, you can spend 29 grand.
That's
30
amazing.
Grand.
That's so much car for that.
Yeah, and they hold up real well. I mean, as long as you don't get one that's been thrashed, then
there's a world of difference in reliability between a 55 and a 65 as well.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, V12s are great, but they definitely scare me with that maintenance. When something goes wrong, you're spending a lot of money.
This engine is very, very strong. It makes the right sounds. How are the brakes?
So that's the one thing. So they do fine, but that's the one thing that I think we'd go for next is brakes, because we're giving it more power quite a bit more power than it used to. So
it'll give you a couple good stops, I imagine, because it's not like this thing came with terrible brakes from the factory. It's not like putting 600 horsepower through a Honda.
Exactly.
You know, but pads and fluid, I think you could probably. Oh, the power.
Yeah.
The delay shifting is so absurd.
It is.
And it does, you know, it feels its weight. It doesn't feel light, but you know, the steering is predictable. The steering actually is nicely weighted. I've driven cars recently, newer cars that are lighter than this and have steering feel heavier than this. That's like artificial almost. Right. This one is good.
It is.
The seats are very comfortable. I have room in here with my 6'3"ness. I'd daily one of these things. This thing would be great.
And on the highway, this thing jumps up to absurd.
It's gotta be a monster.
It jumps up to absurd speeds so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. Yeah.
I remember when they were new though, the high speed stability wasn't really there.
Right.
Do they get a little sketchy around corners at very high speeds?
So I've very much kind of just become familiar with this car, and so I'm very comfortable with it. I haven't noticed it as much. When we first got it, I wasn't punching it around mountain roads. So
yeah, and I
probably would have noticed.
And at the time, I remember that going around. I was like right out of college. I wasn't like a pro driver or anything. So I don't even know if that's true. Right. You know, it became such a thing we would say that these cars. This bug is gonna drive me nuts. Go, bug! It became such. I'm gonna just turn around right here. It became such a thing we'd say, but I genuinely don't know if it's actually true. I would just listen to whoever told me that and repeat it.
Yeah, and I've driven this thing pretty quick before, and it felt pretty darn stable.
Felt pretty good?
Yeah.
Have you had any issues with the retractable hardtop? That seems like a complex thing you wouldn't want to break.
Totally seems very complicated. Like, I watch it happen and it blows my mind, but no issues yet. Good. I'm not doing it every day, you know, I mean, I only...
What would you say is the percentage of top up versus top down that you drive?
Well, so we're right on the coast in Orange County.
So your top down is most of the time,
Most of the time. Yeah.
Southern California, I mean, even though the fixed roof coupe, you know, is a better driver's car than certainly a retractable hardtop, you cannot ignore the wonderfulness that is driving in Southern California with a top down. I mean, my Corvette, I probably take the roof off 95% of the time I drive.
Right.
And I only put it back on at the end of the day when I'm like sunburned and dying.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, and that's the worst. Great day. Oh, my face. Yeah.
There's a reason I'm this tan, you know?
Yeah.
It's only half because I'm Arab. This thing has from like $3 to $5 grand, just a really good punch.
Yeah.
You don't really have to rev this engine out, although
you can.
Wow.
Yes.
It's got power. I mean, it's absolutely got power. You could be a total baller on a budget with this car.
Yeah.
Because this thing is very clean. Is this nav just worthless at this point?
Yeah. Well, I use my phone. I use my phone.
Is there an auxiliary input somewhere?
Yeah. No. So there's a cord. Yep.
Okay. So you can use that.
Yeah, and it's got a fantastic stereo because it's convertible, so they
really bump it. Yeah, that's the one thing with it's always so tempting to be like, man, I just get an old SL or a CL, but then I'm like, oh, that command system.
Yeah.
I don't know about the command. Look, they thought people were still gonna dial numbers.
No, yeah. I use the phone.
Yeah.
I use the phone.
Does it have Bluetooth? No, right?
No.
Yeah. This is why some of these cars depreciate so fast. It's like the technology becomes outdated.
People love their toys.
Especially people who are buying $150,000 Benzes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new ones?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
So what do you think of the new SL?
So I don't like the looks as much as
it's hideous.
It's pretty goddamn ugly.
Doesn't it look like a prototype that they forgot to take the camo off?
It's pretty bad. I mean, the engines and all that fantastic, great, but
it was such a shame. I drove one, and it was a 550. It wasn't even a 63, and I go, this is an incredible car that is so hideous, I can't recommend it to anybody.
It really is. I hate the looks of it.
It's too bad because with the dual clutch and the, I don't even know if it was a dual clutch, whatever the 550 comes with, it was a great gearbox, it was a great engine, it handled great, the steering was good, and then you get out of it and look at it and go, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, you walk away from it. I saw in Newport just a day or two ago, these two girls, probably 17 years old, driving an SL55 2015.
Newport.
And they just
sounds like Newport.
And they ruined the front splitter pulling through a curve so bad that it made me want to cry.
I really want to go to those contests where they just have to get out of a driveway in the stance cars. That seems good.
Yep.
So this car, it's sort of what I expected. It's fast, it sounds good, it's very refined and quiet in here. The gearbox is what dates it, as well as the other than the gearbox and the command system, though, it does feel like an AMG. I mean, it's, you know, and it feels like a solidly built Mercedes. There's nothing resembling a squeak or a rattle in here. Of course, it's only got 27,000 miles on it.
Exactly.
But I mean, this could be a super cool daily driver. If you, like, let's say if you had 40 to spend on a car, and you bought one that was 30 and kept 10 grand in cash reserve.
Yep.
You know, you could be a super baller on a budget in one of these things.
You could make it a weapon. Oh yeah.
And you can make them dumb fast. I mean, the E55s, they're like 20 grand.
Yeah.
And I see those at the drag strip all the time running like 10.
Yeah. We have so the guys that we went and tuned this for, he's the small Mercedes maintenance company, Maurice Mercedes, right in Costa Mesa. But he has got a SL55 pushing probably 650 horsepower.
Yeah, and it runs 10s all day.
And,
long, right?
And then his mechanic Chris, who did most of this for us, he's got the E, and he is running in the 10s.
Yeah.
And he's pushing God knows how much power out of it. But these are such great platform engines.
Yeah, and the gearbox and the diff are really strong. And
yeah, they can handle the torque you give them.
Yeah.
Even though they're a little slow.
Well, I drove the Rentec CLS63, the new one, and it runs 9s. Oh, that's the last thing. I just went to go pull in. The cruise control stock in these is where you expect the blinker.
Right.
So when you're holding the wheel, directly behind your hand is not a blinker. That is cruise control.
Yep.
And I found it by accident, and so the blinker's down here. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Yeah,
this was very cool. Check out Matt's WheelWell profile for the details of how he modified the SL55, and go to thesmokingtire.com/merch. I'm going to do this right now. It's going to be very sexy. We have our T-shirt of the month club. This is one of our T-shirts. It's got the BMW Z4 on it. New shirts every month, and you get a discount if you join for a year. You can join for any number of months. They're cheaper than our old shirts, and they're cool. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
This was fun. See you next time.